All right, let's look at the SPY before I get into the watch list for Monday. I drew a horizontal line here at these little tops back here that it had in, looks like in January. And that was somewhere around 206 and a half, 206.50. So there's an area where it might find some support, and you'll see that the 50-day, so the line right here, is also right about there. You also have a rising trend line here. Oh, that'll probably intersect around 205-ish, something like that. So, I mean, it's coming into an area, but I don't know. I would like to see a little bit of mini carnage in the market because it needs it, and then we could get some nice setups again. But anyway, there's just a quick look at it, and here's what I'm watching on Monday. I just threw LL Lumber Liquidators back on watch again, like I said going into Friday, and I never got a setup in this one on Friday, but I had said that I don't look at this as a bullish chart, right? But it is oversold and might just catch a bounce, especially if they get any kind of name, I don't know, reputable name coming out defending the stock. Here it is on 15-minute candles. Didn't break its early high Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday now, but it seems to be finding some support. So, again, what I want to see whenever I'm looking at a stock that's this beaten up is, this kind of action, just a sideways move on Monday, and then maybe an afternoon high of day break. If you have it on a chart, you could catch a really nice quick trade. So that's why this is on watch, just because I'm a day trader, and that scenario might play out. All right, VSLR I talked about on going into Friday. Didn't have a trade in it on Friday, but now it's starting to look better. You had this really nice breakout and a red day. The market was pretty darn weak on Friday too, so I'd like to see it come in another day, but it is time to start watching. Sometimes you get get a weekday in the market, or you just get this kind of lower volume pullback, and then the third day it rips again, so we definitely want to have that one on watch too. I try to populate my watch list with stocks that might get a very nice pop going into the in the very next session, because I'm a day trader. I'm in cash every night, so that's why you see these charts. It's not based on anything other than it might give a nice move the very next day, because that's what I'm looking for. Okay, is one day nice moves to trade off, if that makes any sense. So ASTI had this big spike back here, kind of flagged, and then trying to spike again and again, gapped up both of these days and sold off. So it's not that compelling, but I do want to have it on watch. I'm looking at this kind of on an intraday, and I don't see like a great setup. I really kind of needed to get back over $1.60-ish with some kind of volume, and that one could give a nice measured move too. PEIX, kind of like VSLR I just showed you, a really nice volume spike, and then a more quiet inside day, so I want to watch that one, maybe a third day move. BIOC, again, crazy move back here, pulled in, really nice bounce, right? And now it's down like 4 days in a row. Some support in the area around $3 too, so I want to watch this one. CAPN, we had a great trade in this one a couple sessions ago. Now it's down 2 days on lower volume, coming back to the 8-day and some support. There's another candidate for a nice move. GLNG, very nice pop on Thursday, and then Friday, kind of a lower volume, quiet day. Here it is on 15-minute candles. So you could call this a nice move, and now kind of flagging. So again, that one just goes on watch. I don't have any kind of trigger price for you. IFON, this one's holding up really well after this. 6.5 million shares on Wednesday pulled in. With the market selling off on Friday, this one held up really well. So want to watch this one for a potential move. It looks good up in the high 260s that it might come up maybe and retest these recent highs. So IFON. W had the gap up. 1 day low. Well, it sold off the day of the gap up, and then the next day lower, and now it looks like it's turning back up. I did not catch a trade in this one on Friday, although I saw it kind of flagging here after the gap down. Would have been a nice bounce play entry. But anyway, this one, again, great relative strength compared to the market. Whoops. So I want to watch that one for continued follow-through on Friday's bounce. And then NVGN. We got a really nice trade in this one on Friday, and it held up pretty well in this market, so I'm looking for further upside. On Friday, I just called this at 298 when it looked like this. I mean, there's not a lot going on, but because, this is a good example if you watch Thursday night's video. This looked like this, and you might have been wondering, well, how the heck is he planning on trading it on Friday? And I always tell you guys, it depends on how it sets up, right? On whether or not I'll even take a trade. This one, really nice move back here. Another attempt here. Another attempt here, which it was a nice percentage move. Trailed off and then gapped up again, and then and then sold off for a couple sessions. So I had this on bounce watch, and then you can see we got a nice bounce. So here's an example of what I look for. It opened. These are 5-minute candles. I'll zoom in. It opened in a fairly narrow range. The high was $3, and the low, this is about 15 minutes in, the low was 288. So you have 3 5-minute candles. So there's your 15 minutes. It looked like it was done going down, and if after that recent chart action I just showed you, if this got up to 298-ish, I figured it'll push through the high of the day and find some momentum. Okay, so I called it 298. I think the stop, I can't remember, maybe 290, something like that. There was a trigger. The volume came in just like we suspected, and it went all the way up to whatever it was, 326. That's a really nice percentage gain on a $3 stop. All right, so that's the kind of, there's an example of why I have recent passion stocks on watch, and then on an intraday basis, how we can find nice trades in them. All right, so I think that's all. Yeah, that's all I have on my list. We'll hopefully add some gappers on Monday morning as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday.